Multiple and dual citizenship in the past decades have become widely accepted worldwide. Scholars of citizenship studies claim that the growing tolerance of dual citizenship signals a weakening of state sovereignty and its emergence from post-national, transnational, and cosmopolitan norms. And while there is the growing need for the acceptance of dual citizenship in Cameroon, a West African nation with nearly 24 million citizens according to the World Factbook, multiple citizenship standards can neither be universally accepted nor normatively compelling. I will explain. With nearly 7% of Cameroonians above the age of 55, the country is currently mired in an economic meltdown as it struggles to embrace nearly 80% of its youths who are either trapped in underemployment or unemployment. In 2011, the World Bank's Migration and Remittances Factbook reported that there were nearly 280,000 Cameroonians living abroad as of 2010, and this constitutes 1.4% of the population. And that number could have even risen further given the absence of the rule of law, bad governance, poor respect for human rights, and weakened economic conditions that force youth to leave the country. Also, the growing quest for Western education, attractive dynamic job markets in Asia and the West, and the perception of better life abroad lure skilled young dynamic Cameroonians to flee their own country. The International Organization for Migration in 2007 notes that France was the most preferred destination for Cameroonians. Gabon, Nigeria, and the United States were some of the most preferred destinations for Cameroonians. But that statistic could be faulty now. In what neoclassical realist Farid Zakaria describes as the rise of the rest in his book, The Post-American World, revisionist states like Brazil, Russia, China, India, and South Africa are now altering the status quo. Coupled with most Middle Eastern nations like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, and Dubai, Cameroonians are now looking east thanks to the harsh visa policies imposed by most EU countries due to the surge in global terrorism and even falling economic pillars across the EU bloc. In fact, in 2000, 17% of Cameroonians who fled the country had higher education degrees. Between 1995 and 2005, 46% of Cameroonian doctors and 19% of nurses immigrated to selected countries. According to the Cameroon Medical Council, 4,200 Cameroonian doctors are currently working out of the country. Only 800 Cameroonian doctors are presently working in the country, giving us a doctor-patient ratio of 1 medical doctor is to 50,000 patients. Unimaginable. So what can be the solution? Here is Tapang's take. Most African countries that legitimize dual citizenship are ranked above Cameroon on the Polity 4 and Freedom House, the measuring rods for democracy, state fragility, civil rights, political liberties, and lot more. Those countries have robust economies, while Cameroon is still lagging behind in terms of growth and development. In fact, last year, Cameroon had less than 5% of an annual growth rate. Wars, conflicts, civil unrest are forcing most African citizens to flee into Cameroon. But on the contrary, Cameroonians are fleeing the country because of lack of jobs, bad governance, and not wars and civil unrest. I suggest that the government should have an open door policy to its runaway citizens who can come back and invest in the country. Dual citizenship can be used by Cameroon to extend its sovereignty abroad, for example, by promoting national interest through expatriate and transborder minorities. Take for example, Diaspora African Remittance showed that in 2012, despite paying far more remittance fee than most other areas in the world, Africans still sent back home to Africa whopping $60 billion, and this supports claims that more than 30 million Africans living out of the continent are helping the continent faster than even development aid or international donors can do. However, security analysts have argued that by accepting dual nationality, Citizens living abroad can easily use their influence to topple despotic regimes. However, I disagree. What Cameroon needs at the moment is a favorable business climate and the free will for citizens to embrace globalization and trade in a free, fair, and corruption-free environment. In contrary to foreign aid that hardly trickles down to the masses but end up in pockets of top government officials, most citizens living abroad have been very quick to send money back home and close up hungry mouths that could easily take to the streets and topple their own governments. I think it is a plus for the government to open its eyes and accept warmly dual nationality or even multiple citizenship. My name is Tapang Ivo Tanku. Thanks for watching.